Welcome back to the channel. So today we have a little thing that I've done a little while back, but my cause for this was I was feeling so much vibration through these foot pegs that it'd make my feet go numb after about 5 minutes of riding. So we're going to get into something that helped me fix this here right after the intro. What I did to fix this, and this is what helped me, which might also help you, if you've stumbled across this video, then you might be running into the same problem that I have. So, my problem was I was getting so much engine vibration feed through the motor mount, it was transferring into my pegs. What we're doing here is we're going to shim, obviously this one's already been shimmed, but we're going to shim this motor mount so that everything lines up and this motor mount isn't in a constant state of bind. It being in a constant state of bind could be causing you your excess vibration, but it could also cause that motor mount to wear out faster than it should. But something to note, this will not fix a motor mount that is already bad. So you want to make sure that your motor mounts are good. Just kind of look along here, make sure that it's not all torn before you do this. If you wind up having bad motor mounts, just replace them. There's no way around it. So something that winds up making these motor mounts bad is, for one, it's always in a bind, and for two, they decided to put this fancy little oil filter right above it. So every time you change that filter, it winds up getting soaked if you don't use the proper funnel. So let's get the jack over here, take the pressure off of the motor, and I'll show you how I did it in order to shim this out. So all that you're going to need for this is a 5/16 Allen wrench and a jack. Your two bolts right here, these are the two that you're going to wind up removing. And then you just shim in between here. Now, I don't know if you can see this in here, but I have a block of wood on the jack, and all it is doing is pushing on the pan. You want to make sure that you're not crushing your clutch line. So the jack is just to take pressure off the mount. It shouldn't take much. And then we're just going to break these free, and with the way that I have it, I'm going to be able to take these out by hand with zero issue. So like I said, just this 5/16 Allen. And then loosen them up. After that, you should be able to just fully take these off by hand. Okay, so I'm just going to pull my shims out. So they're just regular washers. I ground down this side that way so that they could fit in there. And there we go. So as you can see, just regular washers. So let me just show you what I did in order to identify how much washer I needed. What you're after is whatever height it is that makes this bolt hand tight. And if you notice, it's a little bit under, but it's better than it was before. I could go with a little bit thicker, but with what I have right now, it's making it to where I do not have near as much vibration. So if you look along there, you see that gap across the entire thing. Bottom bolt. So without this, when you tighten these up, it's going to pull the entire mount this way, causing it to begin constant stress. So let me just get this thing back together. I hope that is explanatory on how to get your depth right there. You might have to play around with some washers. Bigger washers cover the most space across here is better. So let's get this thing bolted back together. Now, can't forget your blue Loctite on your bolts. A little dab on the bolt will do it. Slide your washers in. And just like that. Now let's pull this one out. A little bit of blue Loctite. Make sure my notch is facing upward. And just like that, make sure you torque these to the proper spec.